Hello and welcome back to T-Junction. I am Tracy McLean Lowe, and I've been out and about in the West End, up here in Oakwood Village, Cedar Vale, and Little Jamaica, wondering on what's going on about town and what's in the news, basically. Now, if we could blame it on 110 things about what's going on with our city at the moment, but it is happening right across our very beautiful city. We are we're wondering what politics has to do with our public transport and with our shopping experience around the city, whether we're here in the West End, the East End, basically anywhere where they're jigging around with the little bits and pieces. And the one thing that we are very worried about is our TTC. Now, in the news, as we're all wondering, in the news, the TTC is not a private company. It's also not owned by the Toronto City Council. It is owned by the Ontario government and managed by the Ontario Transport Minister. Whether it's a Liberal in office, whether it's NDP, whether it's the Conservatives, when they are in office, their Transport Minister handles the agency for the TTC, which has been around for 100 years or so. Now, in 2006, they came up again, not quite sure who started it or when or why, but I know it started in 2006. Metrolinx. It's an agency of the government of Ontario. Now, this agency was started so that the rest of Ontario could get transport links to Toronto, London, and basically across the rest of, Niagara and all around the rest of the province, which has been great. There have been a number of lines added. You can now get straight on go on the GO station right into Niagara and Niagara Falls, which when we went in 2010 wasn't a possibility. We still needed to travel by bus a little bit further from the GO train section. But nonetheless, that has now reached out apparently as far as Niagara, or is going to be starting up soon. And when we first moved to the area, we certainly didn't have the light rail going on up above us. Now, this is causing traffic problems. It is causing problems for shoppers, cyclists, store owners, other business owners, not just retail, for people getting to them, either by public transport or by car. And the less our public transport functions, the more cars we're going to have we're going to have on the road. And the cyclists are also getting shortchanged here. And, we're all getting a little shortchanged by an argument between the TTC and Metrolinx, two government-owned agencies by Ontario government, managed and coordinated by the Transport Minister. And you say, well, can they sue each other? Well, I don't think they can actually sue each other. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I don't think Metrolinx can buy out the TTC since the same people own it. It's smoke and mirrors about them being something that they're not. These are not private enterprises. So when Metrolinx is telling you that they're going to sue the TTC, I really don't think it's actually possible. And I also don't think that the Metrolinx has the right to hold an entire city hostage based on a disagreement between them and the TTC. The agreement was they would supply the line. Things have happened. COVID happened. But you're not private companies. I mean, this is just my thought. A lawyer could weigh in here, I'm sure, far better than I can. But they are holding us up. They are Metrolinx, for example, still control the access onto the Allen Road from Cedar Vale. And there's a lot of these wonderful orange cones flying about. And this is not going to be good for patio season. When the public transport isn't working and we've got to upgrade our roads and we've got to do this, that, and the next thing. And it's not just going to be construction season. It is patio season and people want to get out there. So while we sit here, or while Metrolinx and the TTC sit in a debacle. Our own city council is left in a quandary as well because they no longer have control of it. I mean, the TTC 100 years ago got involved, became an agency by the government because the privatized version of bus transport in the city back in the day was incomprehensible. It was a dreadful, awful thing. They were expensive. And now, you've got a provincial government saying, well, yes, they're private. No, they're not private companies. These are government organized. We don't want it to be privatized because it would be more expensive. So something politically is going on here, and it's going to affect how, where, and when we shop on our streets. And these things, they're throwing up all these TTCs and condos and stuff. Are they thinking about the fire service up the road, who's now got to deal with all these major fire hazards that could or could not be possibly coming up on the way because we can't get our transport moving? Granted, I must admit, and it was nice to see that while I was walking around, a lot of the cones have been moved. I was up here in by Dufferin and Eglinton West, up by the new Fairbank station. Unfortunately, it's still surrounded by fences, waiting for us all to gain access. But I did notice on the bus back from Forest Hills the other day, at the Cedarvale TTC, the new one, there was signs saying that they were actually testing the light rail. So this was from the northwest corner. And another quick video without making you too dizzy from spinning around. Here we go. The next video is the other way. From the southeast side with the new station behind us down south. That's going down south to Dufferin. And the church at the top. And you got your anchor stores up at the top. It's very nice and easy to get to. And you can see the sky up there, and it's a great time of year to be up there with the sun shining because there are a bunch of wonderful features. But I will leave that here for now because I will do another another episode shortly to tell you what I'm looking at around the area, new businesses that have opened up, and I will be back shortly. And until then, please do like and subscribe. I am Tracy McLean Lowe, and this has been T-Junction, and I will see you soon. Thank you, and goodbye.